Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly quick tip. Today we're going to be talking about informational interviews and how you can prepare for them, set them up, and what to expect during your informational interview. So an informational interview is a really great opportunity for you to gain insight about a specific career or field of interest from people who are directly in that field. So in that regard, it's a really beneficial tool no matter where you are in the career development process, because if you are still trying to choose your major, um, you can find out, what are these different opportunities I can do stemming from this major. Or if you are a junior or senior and you're getting ready to decide, what job one is going to be, you can talk with people in an industry to learn more about how they got there, what advice they wish they had when they started, and determine if that's something you can see yourself doing after graduation. So during an informational interview, you can learn more about what a specific job involves. What are the day-to-day things that maybe someone may not think of or wouldn't be shared on a job description that you could see. It's a great way for you to build your professional network by making those connections, and they may provide recommendations on, here's a professional organization you can look into, or here's a conference that we go to and they allow undergraduate students to attend. Um, so it's a really neat way to get to know more people in your industry, and that will help with your transition after graduation. It's a nice way to develop interpersonal and networking skills. It's a way to feel more comfortable asking and answering questions, feeling confident reaching out and setting up those networking opportunities, as well as the professionalism of setting things up in a professional manner, communicating, being aware of the time, things like that. And of course, at the end of the day, an informational interview is really a great way to determine if a particular job or area of interest is a good fit for you. Is this something you can see yourself doing? Is it as exciting as you hoped it would be? Or is it one of those things that once you hear from someone who actually does it not seem like something that you would want to do? So before the interview, obviously you're going to need a person to contact. So you can use a lot of different resources to kind of find those starting points. Start off with your family and friends. Start off with people you know. Do you have an uncle or an aunt that maybe you don't get to talk to that much, or a cousin that has a really cool job that you want to learn more about? Um, Maybe your best friend's parents are in a field that you find really interested in and want to learn more about. So start with the people you already know and feel somewhat comfortable with. And certainly reach out to us and the alumni office to see if maybe there are other Albright Lions out there who may be in a field or career path similar to what you would like to do. You can also use resources like LinkedIn and CareerShift to find specific people in specific companies or with specific job titles. If you aren't sure how to use those resources to find connections, please let me know. I'm happy to help you and show you how you can use those two tools to expand your network. So once you have a person that you want to do an interview with, send them an email or make a phone call asking to set up a time to talk. And if you don't hear from them right away, that's okay. Give them a week. If you don't hear back, reach out to them again. But regardless of when or which method you use, you're going to want to explain who you are, what you're interested in, and ask for 15, 20, 30 minutes of their time. So you can say, my name is Joe Smith. I'm interested in learning more about the different opportunities in the field of psychology, and I know you specialize in relationship counseling, and I find that really fascinating. Would it be possible for us to sit down and talk for 20 minutes so I can learn more about what you do and see if it would be a good fit for me as I look for options after graduation? People tend to enjoy talking about themselves and their career. So don't be afraid to reach out and make those connections and initiate the conversation. I know it will feel very awkward, um, but it's really not as stressful as people tend to build it up in their mind to be. And the worst that can happen is they'll say, no, unfortunately, I'm too busy. I can't help you at this time. So be accommodating of their schedule and their location. So for example, maybe they are writing a grant and they are focusing solely on that until a specific date. So sure, I'll interview you, but it has to be after this time. Cool, I can wait, that's no problem. Um, maybe their location is, further away from campus. Maybe you can meet them somewhere, at a coffee shop close to where they are. Or if this meeting time lines up right after class, you would have to do your interview maybe by phone instead of in person. So be flexible and adaptable. And that actually leads in really nicely to doing your research and preparing questions in advance. Know what you want to say so you can hit the ground running, be cognizant of their time, and make the most of the conversation. So do research so that you know who they are and what they do, know a little bit about their company, and also have your questions ready, so that you won't have any of that awkward silence or, be unsure of where to start. So we're at the interview, it's that time. Jump right in. Ask questions about their career journey and their current role. Ask them, where have you been? How did you transition from being a college student to where you are now? What do you enjoy about your job? What do you wish you could change? Where do you hope to go from here? Um, Always, always, always be polite, be gracious, be professional, thank them for meeting with you. Um, be polite about, the questions you're asking, and if, they aren't comfortable answering something, that's okay. Um, be cognizant of the time, make sure they don't go over the amount of time that they have allotted for you. Um, be very professional, dress up, be early, really knock their socks off with how prepared you are for this interview. You can always ask, who are other people that you recommend I get in touch with that can tell me more about this field or this career path. During the interview, of course, do not ask for a job or internship. That's not what this kind of interview is for. This is solely for information purposes. It's not digging for, how can this benefit me in the long run? It's solely just to expand your knowledge. So, be very gracious about that and don't try and get more out of the interview than the information you are getting. After the interview, be sure to send, at the very least, a thank you email, if not a thank you card. Let them know something in particular that really stuck out to you and was really informative to you. Start a networking log, keep track of the people that you have spoken with, what you learned from them, or you can add your new connection on LinkedIn. This will make it easier for you to stay in touch with them, share updates. Hey, I've just found out I was accepted to present at this conference. Just thought it would be cool for you to know. Here's an article I saw that's really relevant to what you're doing with your company, so I thought I would share it with you. Don't go overboard. Don't, email them every week, but just to let them know that you are still thinking of them and appreciate what they did. And of course, after your informational interview, continue to do more informational interviews. Learn from others and learn more about the field. You can never have too much information. So that's informational interviewing. If you want more in-depth help on preparing questions or finding people to interview, using Career Shift or LinkedIn to find people, please don't hesitate to ask. There is also a resource on our guides and tip sheets page that is all about informational interviewing, and it has sample questions that you can ask. So be sure to check that out as you prepare your questions so that you know what to ask. If you have anything else I can help you with, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day.